Short Shorts Film Festival in Asia 2020 皆さん戻ってきました。次はですね、これインターナショナルプログラム3の作品で My Father's Shoes お父さんの靴、これローマニアの、アニメの作品なんですが、今から監督のアントン・デミアンさん、そして、撮影を担当したデビッド・リーさんとつながってます。Hey guys, thanks for joining our festival. It's so nice to, it would have been much nicer to invite you to Japan and do this in person, but things being the way they are, we're going to do it this way. So we'll start with Anton and then David, if you guys could give us a shout out, let us know who you are and where you are and what time it is. Go ahead.
Sure. Hi, I'm Anton. I'm in Romania. It's 8:30 in the morning here, and I'm the director of the co-director of My Father's Shoes. Unfortunately, Damien couldn't be with us today, but I'm here, and so is Dave.
Hi, I'm David. I was the director of photography on My Father's Shoes, and I'm in Edinburgh, Scotland, and it's 6:30 a.m.
And I'm DJ John here in Tokyo, and it's 2:30 in the afternoon, so we have become truly an international Q&A going on here. Welcome, guys, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot for inviting us.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
So I'll start with Anton. It's quite a artistic, I guess is the word I want to use for an animated film. It looks like so much work was involved. How long did it take you to complete My Father's Shoes?
Well, I mean, the whole process, I would say, took about 6 years. I mean, this is from the moment of conception, finding out about the true story that it's based upon, putting together the script, getting funding for the film, and then obviously planning the shooting, and then obviously all the post-production that was involved with it, all of the 3D tracking that was done, and the 3D and 2D animation. So all in all, it was a kind of it was a long journey for us. I mean, it's 6 years in total, I'd say, was the kind of the total time from conception all the way to finishing it and sending it off to festivals.
Wow, I mean, that's almost as long as the true life story that you're depicting. That is truly amazing. 監督アントンさんは今ローマニアにいます。朝の8時半なんですが、まずこの、アニメ映画なんですけど、すごいアーティスティックなショートフィルムなので、どのぐらいかけて作ったのかって聞いたら、驚きの返事は合計で6年かかったんですよね。そのアイディアの発想から、いわゆるこれ実在してた人物なので、それをまず調べたりして、脚本を下ろして書いたりして、で、ようやく撮影に入って、で、その後のポストプロダクションでは 3D アニメーションから 2D アニメーションいろいろあったので、トータルで6年っていうことなんですよね。And you made this with your brother Damien. How did you separate your tasks, if you did at all, or was it just a total combined effort?
Well, I mean, I would say that it was quite a combined effort. I mean, as a team, me and Damien, usually we kind of split off. I mean, I'm more experienced than Damien with live action and shooting and working with actors, while Damien is more kind of was more with art direction, and doing the kind of the art direction stuff. So in a way, we've always been a tight, a close-knit team, obviously being brothers, and a lot of the times we're always kind of second guessing each other. We're always on the same page creatively, it seems. So it was really a combined effort, I guess.
Yeah, cool. But yeah.
And it came out excellent, obviously. この作品はアントンさんと兄弟のデミアンさん2人でいわゆる監督を務めた作品なんですが、どっちかって言ったらアントンさんは実写の方とかが 専門というか、そっちの方が好きなんですけど、ダミアンさんがもうちょっとアートディレクションとか、芸術的な方の面で、でも二人とも本当にうまく一緒に何でもいろいろ作る、コンビネーションになってるんですよね。And so going over to David Lee, this is an animated film. So what do you do as a director of photography?
Well, what was really interesting was that it was a really small camera team, like very small footprint for the camera department, but for the lighting department, it was pretty much the same as live filming with a really big lighting team. And basically, we got the actors in bodysuits, and then they would just move really slowly, and then we shoot it lots of stop frame motion with the stills camera. And so you would basically record the voice like normal and play it back 4 times slowly. So the actors would move 4 times slowly as well. And it's just very interesting on set, because if you're filming in slow motion all the time, so instead of be hello, be like hello, which was very, very like slightly trippy. And yes, but we did film it like live filming. So we do one shot, and then you shoot the shot, and then once the camera's loading up, you have time to think of the next shot. And you trick it as well with lenses and filters, and trying to trick it as if it's stop motion with small puppets. You're using real people in big bodysuits. It's just a very interesting experience.
David, I'm sorry, you kind of broke up in there, but let me do what I could get out of that in Japanese real quick. アニメーションなんですけど、撮影監督のデビッド・リーさんは、キャメラクルーは、ちょっと、少人数でできたんだけど、照明の方はもう本当に本格的だったので、もう実写版みたいにもうフルな、照明の、スタッフと機材を使ったんですよね。で、これいわゆる人形を動かしてるので、いわゆるスローモーションで撮影しなきゃダメだったんですよね。それとあとボイスの方も、そのままだったらすごくスローモーションにさび合ってるみたいな感じになっちゃうので、そこら辺の調整が結構難しかったっていうことなんですよね。で、今ちょっとつながりがちょっとあまり良くなかったので、言ってることをちょっとかけてましたが、またちょっと、例えばメールでもフォローしてもらおうかなと思ってるんですよね。Yeah, and that was really interesting for me to see that in the credits, not just like, for example, in an animation film, you might have a credit for a voice actor, but there was also a credit for acted by for the 2 main characters. Tell us a little bit about that, Anton.
So, I mean, as David said, we used, for the father and the daughter, for that part of the story, we used real actors and dressed them up in puppet suits and gave them masks on their heads. So the people that acted Dan Dumitru and his daughter were actually they were real actors, and they weren't the voice actors. The voice actors were other actors that we casted for the film. It was quite interesting because for the little girls part, we weren't allowed to use a real girl. We weren't allowed to shoot with children because of the program of filming was, it was very long hours. So we actually casted a very short woman. So it's actually a kind of a very short woman there playing the daughter, and it's not a child. Obviously, it was easier to work with, with adults because they had to understand. That they had to, all of the complicated direction that we had to give them, moving 4 times slower, and there were a lot of details that they had to understand. So it was easier to work with adults. But that's quite funny. I mean, it was definitely an experience for them. They were dressed up and they had these masks on, and it was also quite difficult for them to see through the masks. So for them, it was a really interesting experience, shooting, and for us as well, it was something that we'd never tried before. And something that me and Damien and David, we've always tried to combine interesting ways of filmmaking, interesting approaches to filmmaking, interesting combinations. So this was our intention in the beginning, to try and experiment with this idea of mixing, live action with animation, and to kind of create a kind of a hybrid, one of a kind look to the piece.
Well, obviously it turned out beautifully. この撮影では、いわゆる本当の役者を、衣装を着させて、で、頭にはマスクをかぶさせて、で、それを、CG を使ってアニメーションの方に移したみたいな感じだったので、で、その、娘さんの役には、今、っていうか、規制的に、法律的に、そのお子さんを、その長い撮影とか夜の撮影使えないので、ちょっと小柄の女優さんを使ったんですよね。で、その映像の関係の中で、その演技はいつもより3倍とか4倍、ゆっくりスローモーションっぽく演技しなきゃダメだったり、その細かい指示とか出すためには、本当にやっぱり、その大人の役者の方が受けやすいし、ちゃんとそれをこなしてくれるみたいなので、結局的にはそっちの方が良かったっていう感じなんですよね。So, another thing that's totally mind-blowing for me was the story of Dan Dumitru. I mean, it's like, somebody who did something amazing that nobody knows about. How did you come across this story?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because a good friend of mine who worked in an advertising agency, he came across the story to begin with. And it was just a story in a local newspaper in one of the towns in Romania from where Dan Dumitru is from. And it was very funny. It was amazing to me that no one, not even in Romania, no one really knew about this guy and what he did. And I think it was because of when he went on his journey, and he finished it in 1923, and then after he did his journey, there was the Second World War came, and then communism took hold of Romania. And I think because of the socialist rhetoric, it didn't really fit his story, amazing stories of international travel and everything. So I think most of the time, his true story that he told was somehow suppressed by the government, by the system. They didn't like to hear about people who were leaving the country and doing these amazing things. So in a way, Dan Dumitru, he was. His story was kind of hidden away in a way, and it was only from 1985 when he was inducted into the Guinness Book of Records as the first man to walk the world on foot. That was when somehow his story started to come out.
Okay, we've kind of lost you there, but I'm going to go ahead and do this part in Japanese real quick here. このダン・デュミトロさんの物語はこれ本当に起きた本当にやったことので有名になった人なんですけど、いわゆる歩いて世界一周したんですよね。で、アントン監督はロマニアの小さなローカルの新聞でなんか記事があったみたいなんですけど、ローマニア人でもこのディミトロさんのことを知らなくて、で、その世界一周歩き回るのは、最初は4人がいたんですけど、結局、最後に帰ってきたの1人だけだったんですよね。で、1923年に帰ってきて、で、その後、世界、大戦とか、あと、ローマニアは、コミュニズム、そっちの方に、また、社会的、政府的に変わっちゃったりしてたので、で、その個人でやったことがあんまりもう、世間に出したくない感じだったので、あんまり知られてなくなっちゃってたんですよね。で、ちょっと隠されてたことっていう感じで、ずっと、もう たどり着いていったら、1985年にまた改めて、そのロマニアの殿堂入りみたいな感じで、その物語が有名になったので、本当にね、これ皆さん調べるとすっごい物語なんですよね。ダン・ドゥムリートロさんの物語、My Father's Shoes。監督のアントン・グローブさん、そして撮影監督のデビッド・リーさん、本当にありがとうございます。I'm hoping that you're able to get this wonderful accomplishment out to the rest of the world. We loved it here. We're really proud to feature it in our festival as part of our CG animation program. In our international program. And so Anton and David, thank you so much. If you can, I hope the connection is good enough to have you both sign off and give a quick shout out to your fans of the Short Film Festival. Go ahead. Anton first.
Thank you very much for watching the film, and thank you very much to the Shorts Festival for inviting us to be part of this amazing festival. It's a premiere for Asia, so yeah, we'd love to be part of the festival, and yeah, enjoy the festival and the rest of the films. Thank you very much.
Anton, thank you very much. アントンさんは実はこれアジアのプレミア上映となってたんですよね。で、本当に皆さんショートフィルムフェスティバルのアジアに、選ばれて嬉しいし、皆さん本当にこれからのフェスティバルも楽しんでくださいっていうメッセージいただきました。David, go ahead.
Thank you, Shorts Film Festival. It's been an amazing experience. We were in the opening night on stage in Tokyo. It was amazing, and very happy for it to be screened in Japan. Really happy. From Carpathian Mountains, Romania to Tokyo. It's been a great journey.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. デビッドさんは、我々のオープニングセレモニーで、またこういう感じで、いわゆる大きい画面に、姿を、皆さんに、見ていただいたんですが、いわゆるロマニアのカーパシアの、山脈から東京まで、この旅、皆さんぜひ楽しんでいただきたいということですね。Alright, guys, thanks so much. And, well, go back to sleep or have breakfast or kiss the kids for me, okay? Thanks a lot.